Okay, Philip Fry was doing the Cerebus Wiki. Yes, he is. He's not only doing the Cerebus Wiki, he's doing the Strange Death of Alex Raymond 2023, soon to be 2024, Giant Ash Cans, remastering those. And thank you on both those things. I've been meaning to give you a call, Philip, and but I've been meaning to give a lot of people a call. Once again, that comes down to you can give people a call or you can write and draw. Any chance he'd like to give names to the unnamed wizard from Cerebus number 1 and the unnamed magician from Magicking? At this late date, no. Let's not go asking for trouble.
When I was reading over the question during the last break, I went, Bill and Ted. They're Bill and Ted. And then I was thinking, no, wait, Canadian. Bob and Doug.
Well, I'm not going to say anything because I am unfortunately the authority that gets to decide those things. Ever since the episode with Floyd George, I've been regretting the naming Pink Floyd on the cover of Cerebus number 1. I didn't do it for that, but you never know. You never know what the metaphysical universe is listening to and channeling in directions that you don't want it to go. Particularly when it comes to wizards and magicians. So we're leaving that one alone. That's it. Thank you, Philip, for the question. Anybody else wants to ask about that, save your breath. Not going to happen. Mike Sewell, you're right. Hey, wait a minute. Asks, how many pages does he envision The Strange Death of Alex Raymond finishing with total? I typed out the answer to this one. Not really there yet. I'm within a few pages of being done. The Many Deaths of Margaret Mitchell section, looking like 25 to 30 pages. So that should help with my guesswork. I'm getting better at condensing the raw material, but it's still just guesswork. I just finished page 579. Next is Ward Green's reaction to Margaret Mitchell's death in Rip Kirby, trying to minimize, as I read him, the metaphysical blowback, 1949 to 1952. If I can keep that part to Many Deaths of Margaret Mitchell length, I would guess I'm somewhere between 2/3 and 3/5 of the way through. So final total, based on that, would be 900 to 1,000 pages, 1,100 pages, 1,200 pages. At some point, I shift from forward momentum to reformatting and enhancing the Glamourpuss SDOR AR pages, working backwards from September 6, 1956, which is where I left off, to 1953, and then bridging 1952 to 1953, and then post 1956 to the modern day. Having a section finished, actually written and drawn, The Many Deaths of Margaret Mitchell, is going to be a major psychological lift and will definitely give me a different perspective on what still needs to be done. That's as far as I am and addressing that mentally. So there you go, Dodger, your second appearance. We've been here so long. Dodger showed up again. James Windsor Smith asks, is Dave aware of Alex Toth's Cerebus? No, I wasn't. And he really does. It says Cerebus right on it. Even though, did he know that he was drawing Cerberus? Or, the Amazing Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends cartoon, or do you think he was just having a joke at the animation company's expense? They won't realize that it says Cerberus. They'll think that it says Cerberus and it says Cerebus, because it was 1981. He was definitely aware of Cerebus by then. And I got to tell you, only Alex Toth could do model sheets of characters this effectively. I mean, Cerberus in action, 3/4 forward view, rear view, 3/4 rear view, looking in the other direction, close up, and probably, had to figure out what to do with the rest of his morning. And that would take me forever. I mean, everything simplified, but everything exactly where it's supposed to be. Is there some way to track down the Amazing Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends episode to see, did they call it Cerebus or did they call it Cerberus?
Looking at the picture, I know the episode. I don't know if they even
You know the episode?
Dave, I was born in 1979. By 1982, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends was the beginning and end of my life. Every Saturday I'm plopped down for 30 minutes to watch Spider-Man, and then asking my parents, when does Spider-Man come on again, and them trying to explain that it's a Saturday morning cartoon. You have to live a week without Spider-Man.
No! You're torturing me. This is child abuse.
In the 90s, they repackaged the show as Marvel Action Universe, and it was an episode of Spider-Man and an episode of, I want to say, RoboCop. And it was an hour-long block, early morning, on Saturday, like at 6 in the morning. And I had a paper route, and if I was good at my paper route, I could get home in time to watch it. And if I was bad at my paper route, I missed it. And it was, it's Spider-Man. You're never going to see this again, because DVD, VHS, they're never going to put this out. And 99% of the time I missed it, because I really was bad at my paper route. Disney,
very good at Spider-Man.
Disney bought Marvel, so they own everything Marvel owns. Marvel produced the cartoon, so it's on Disney Plus. And I started watching Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends with my kids, going, this is the greatest show you're ever going to see. You trust me. And we watched like 2 episodes, and the girls looked at me like, not only are you insane, but we think you might be going senile.
Yes. Yes. And you have very, very bad taste in cartoons.
No. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, it was the ultimate introduction into the Marvel Universe, because in one episode, it's called 7 Little Superheroes, and the Chameleon is taking out... He has invited superheroes to come to his castle in the middle of nowhere, and they've shown up because they're, it's not a really intellectual show, I admit it. But they show up, and the Chameleon's taking them out one by one, and it was Spider-Man and Firestar and Iceman, His Amazing Friends, but it also had Captain America, Namor, and Shanna the She-Devil. Oh, and Doctor Strange. And, the Chameleon's taking him out, and I'm going, Shanna the She-Devil was obviously added because somebody at the production studio went, we need another female, and they went through the model sheets and went, the girl in the leather bikini, or the leopard bikini, put her in the show.
Right.
And,
right.
I mean, as a kid, it was, who's this? Who's that? And, watching as an adult, I'm like, they put in some pretty B and C list characters. But this particular episode with Cerebus, it's Doctor Doom has managed to harness some cosmic power that will make him a god, and it's coming down to the Latvian embassy in New York, and Spider-Man and his friends show up and make the beam miss, and it hits this guy named Frump, who walks around New York idly saying, things, and a dog comes barking at him, and he conjures Cerberus to chase the dog away. And he doesn't realize what he's doing because he doesn't know he has these godlike powers. And I don't know if they actually call the dog, the three-headed dog, anything in the episode. But it's one of those, I'm looking, I'm like, Frump, I know the episode Frump. I just watched it in this past year. So I will rewatch the episode and I will let you know if they say it either way or if, because I also watch with the subtitles, so what the subtitles say.
Aha! Aha! The legendary subtitles rear their subtitle heads again.
I mean, if anything, if it says Cerberus, I will let you know that according to Alex Toth, it's copyright Marvel, and you're open up for this giant lawsuit that you're never going to win because Disney has all the money in the world. I know, I just gave them some.
Right. And I stole their three-headed dog and turned it into an aardvark. And who do I think I am?
Well, you know, if they were to sue you, I very much expect you to go to court going, Denny did it.
Well, it's sort of the natural thing. Okay.